New Jersey, is it a lien or a deed state? In New Jersey, things have to go down before they actually go up. Isn't that interesting? New Jersey, is it a lien or a deed state? Despite being one of the smallest states in the union, it packs a big punch when it comes to tax lien certificates. Now, one of the things you're going to learn here in this video is things have to go down before they go up in New Jersey. And this is something, if you don't like competition, New Jersey is the place for you. And I'll explain how that works also. And being it that's one of the smallest states that we have in the union, it packs a big punch. It's one of the most densely populated states in the United States, and we're going to show you how to take advantage of all that and more in this video. A little over 7,400 square miles in the state of New Jersey. You could drive a loop around New Jersey in one day, but property taxes are high, and it's one of the most densely populated places in the United States. So the opportunity in this is incredible. Now here's the other crazy thing. Okay, they don't do it by counties. This is why there's so many places that you can go and there's nobody going to be there. There are 566 taxing jurisdictions in the state of New Jersey. Now let me explain that. So it could go by borough, it could go by township, it could by, village. So it's not going by county, it's going by different jurisdictions on it. That's why you can find these little hamlets, there's an East Coast deal, hamlets of opportunity inside there. Now, the crazy thing about New Jersey is you've got, of course, Newark, which is a massive tax lien sale. And then you've got these other little small areas like Hillside and what have you that might not have anybody. In fact, New Jersey is a great place for assignment purchasing. So some of these liens that don't sell at their little baby sale just sit in inventory. And I've had students like you go out there and they're saying, we just drove by, we found these little hamlets or village or borough or whatever. We went in and they had 4 or 5 or 6 different tax liens that were foreclosable immediately. Let's go back to the beginning. What is New Jersey? It is a tax lien state. So like any other state out there, you're gonna have to do your research. It doesn't matter how ample or profitable it is. They're paying 18% and they have a 2-year redemption period. So what does that mean? A property owner has to be delinquent at least 1 year before the property comes up for sale. Once it comes up for sale, the opening bid, regardless of what the back taxes are going to be 18%. So you're going to be bidding down the interest rate. Now, the crazy thing about New Jersey, and I get this for a decade after decade, people are bidding them down to 0. Okay, so here's what happens. In New Jersey, you can bid it down to 0. Then you start bidding on the value of the lien. Let's say it's $1,000. So I bid it down to 0. Now I'm going to even pay more money on that lien and lose money on this. Why the heck would anybody do this? I don't know. The only alternative there is in some of the boroughs, because you're the owner of one lien, you get the first right of refusal on the next year's taxes if they're delinquent for the full 18%. So there you go. There's a little strategy there. I have had students over the years make a lot of money in New Jersey because of the fact there are 566 different jurisdictions out there. No way anybody's going to all of them. They're little tiny ones to bigger ones, like I mentioned earlier, Newark or what have you. But everything still applies. List comes out about a month before the sale. You need to do your research, okay, on this property. This is one of the biggest mistakes that my investors, probably one of the top 10 mistakes that investors make, beginning and novice investors with tax lien certificates, is they think, well, I'm just buying a lien on the property. Who cares? I either get 18% of the property. Again, you need to understand the value of that underlying property. It is called the Garden State. And unfortunately, for New Jersey, I think a lot of people think of the Sopranos or what have you, and they think of Newark and, some of the movies that we've seen out there. New Jersey is a beautiful state. I mean, it's got some unbelievable countryside, and they all have tax lien certificates, but they've also are recognized as some of the highest property taxes in the United States. I mean, if you've ever been driving in New York, okay, dodging potholes left and right, you go across the Washington Bridge, and it's like you get to the other side of the bridge, and there's birds singing and people pushing their strollers on perfect sidewalks, perfectly paved streets with signage and everything. It's almost like you went into Disneyland or something, because their property taxes are paying for all that, okay? So there you go. But each one of these jurisdictions have it. So I want to know, if I'm buying a tax lien on the property, what is the value of the property if I get it? Is it worth what I want? I mean, in other words, is it not, 15 feet wide and 100 yards long? My famous story with that. There's so many of those out there. Is it an overpass? Is it a sidewalk between two subdivisions? Make sure it's actually a property. The next thing I want to do is I want to make sure that the property is actually still there. So I want current photos of the property. People say, isn't that overkill? It's my money. It's your money. Be careful. My first down strategy is don't go for long bombs and protect the ball, protect your money. Make sure you have that. Also, what's your objective, okay? Again, number one of my method is define what your financial outcome is. If you're buying tax liens in New Jersey, you can expect to get some properties back, okay? It's in a very aggressive property tax system there. It's only 2-year redemption period on it, and it's 18%, okay? So if I had some students one time that said, I don't want to get any properties, I just want the big fat check. They were buying a bunch of tax liens in New Jersey, and then all of a sudden about 9 months later, they're like, oh my gosh, we're getting some of these properties back. Yeah. And fortunately, they had done their homework. They had followed my whole method on that, and they were getting some good properties back, so it wasn't going to affect them. But you need to make sure you know of all of those things. So you've got 566 taxing jurisdictions. Okay, this doesn't mean you make your career out of New Jersey. Again, it's one of those states that offers something unique that can possibly make you a bunch of money. I had a student years ago that was looking at some tax liens in a small little township along the seashore, and he realized these properties were getting bought for eminent domain. Unbeknownst to the taxing jurisdiction there, the municipality, these properties all owed taxes. He went behind, he bought the tax liens, ended up with the properties, and they had to buy the properties for him at the full market value on that. I mean, again, a lot of creativity there, right? But you're not just going up and down the East Coast of New Jersey. There's that whole interior of New Jersey that's got tons of little hamlets, boroughs, townships that you can go in and make some money from. Do you know somebody there? Do you have family there? Did you go to school there? One of the beautiful things about the East Coast is that as a tax lien and tax deed investor, not that you have to be there in person, but New Jersey is a perfect example of that. I can be in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and New York all in the same day, and you've got 3 drastically different markets, and there's other videos on those out there. But just because you're getting 18%, just because the law states that it's backed up by the property does not mean you do not follow the steps. Do not skip the steps. How many times have you heard me say that? Okay, no matter how lucrative this is, you've got to stay within those confines. Now, here's the beautiful thing also. Assignment purchasing in New Jersey is nice because you've got 566 different jurisdictions in there. You can go into a small little township, borough, village, whatever, and you can go into the taxing municipality and you may only find 5 or 6 tax lien certificates that are sitting in inventory, but here's the key. They could be past their redemption period. So you could buy the tax lien and foreclose literally at the same time. Now, when you're buying a tax lien certificate that is foreclosable, your odds of getting the property go up dramatically. So a little bonus there. Okay, if you want to make some money and make it quickly, that might be an opportunity for you. There's so many more things that you need to know about tax lien certificates and tax deed investing, and don't worry about it. We have you covered. Just go to higginsmethod.com, fill out the form in there, and I'll have somebody contact you and show you exactly how to do this right and make big money. This is Saen Higgins saying God bless and good luck.